Welcome to episode 37, Patch and Vulnerability Management for I1, a discussion about how keeping systems up to date forms the backbone of resilience. Every organization depends on software, and every piece of software eventually develops weaknesses. Patching is not just a maintenance chore, it is the act of closing known doors before attackers walk through them. Vulnerability management turns this reactive process into a continuous cycle of discovery, prioritization, and remediation. Together, these practices define how quickly an organization can adapt to new threats. In the context of HITRUST I1, patch and vulnerability controls are evidence that an organization actively maintains its defensive posture instead of assuming past configurations remain safe. A complete asset inventory is the first requirement for effective patching. You cannot patch what you do not know exists. Maintaining a detailed list of hardware, software, and virtual assets ensures that every endpoint and application falls under coverage. Automated discovery tools can scan networks and compare findings with configuration databases, flagging discrepancies. This mapping allows security and operations teams to link vulnerabilities to specific owners and environments. When a new threat emerges, such as a critical flaw in a web server, the inventory provides immediate insight into which systems are affected. A verified inventory transforms chaos into coordination, turning theoretical risk into actionable tasks. Risk-based patching policies define how quickly vulnerabilities must be addressed based on severity and potential impact. Instead of treating all updates equally, organizations categorize vulnerabilities by risk tier. For example, critical patches that allow remote code execution may require action within 72 hours, while moderate issues may follow a 30-day window. These timelines become measurable commitments. Documented policies set expectations for both security and operations teams, preventing disputes about urgency. A well-defined policy also supports exception handling and reporting, ensuring every delay has justification. By linking policy to measurable timeframes, the organization moves from reactive firefighting to structured risk reduction. Severity ratings alone do not capture full context, so mature programs weigh severity, exploitability, and exposure together. Severity describes potential damage. Exploitability indicates how easy it is to attack, and exposure reflects how visible or accessible the vulnerable system is. A flaw rated medium severity but exposed to the internet may demand faster action than a high-severity issue buried deep in a segmented lab. Combining these factors helps allocate limited resources intelligently. This contextual prioritization aligns technical judgment with business risk, ensuring attention goes where real harm is most likely. Prioritization queues and ownership assignments turn scan results into organized workflows. Without defined owners, vulnerabilities linger. Each item should link to a responsible system administrator or application owner who tracks remediation progress. Ticketing systems can automatically create and assign tasks from scan outputs, maintaining visibility across teams. Prioritization queues ensure that the most critical items move first, while lower priority ones remain visible for scheduling. Managers can review queue status to confirm that no high-risk issues remain idle. Clear ownership and transparent tracking convert large vulnerability lists into structured, achievable action plans. Patching is also a change, and every change should follow the same approval and traceability standards as other configuration adjustments. Linking patch deployment to existing change control ensures stability and accountability. Each update should have a documented request, scheduled window, and verification step. This linkage helps balance speed with reliability. Critical updates move quickly but without skipping validation. When change control and patch management work together, organizations maintain both agility and assurance. Auditors reviewing I1 evidence often look for this connection because it demonstrates mature governance across related control domains. Some patches cannot be applied immediately due to compatibility issues or business constraints. In these cases, an exception process must exist. Exceptions allow temporary deviations from policy, but always with written justification, mitigation steps, and an expiration date. This approach acknowledges real-world complexity while keeping risk visible and bounded. Automated systems can track and alert when exceptions near expiration, forcing review and resolution. Without expiration, temporary exceptions quietly become permanent weaknesses. A disciplined exception process balances flexibility with responsibility, ensuring transparency even when patching must pause. Verification closes the loop between intent and reality. After applying patches or configuration fixes, rescanning confirms that vulnerabilities are genuinely resolved. This step catches failed installations, incomplete deployments, or reverted updates. Verification may include visual evidence such as screenshots, automated scan outputs, or system status reports. In some environments, peer review of remediation tickets adds another layer of assurance. The process ensures that patch management delivers measurable results rather than assumed success. Regular rescans reinforce trust in the data and maintain confidence that protection keeps pace with change. Vulnerability metrics and dashboards provide a visual summary of performance. Common indicators include mean time to remediate, percentage of assets scanned, and number of open vulnerabilities by severity. Dashboards transform raw data into operational awareness. They highlight patterns such as recurring weaknesses or declining patch velocity. Executives and auditors alike benefit from these insights because they reveal both compliance status and organizational behavior. Over time, consistent metrics establish a baseline of maturity and expose trends that guide investment. Transparent measurement makes improvement visible and accountability tangible. Third-party and cloud environments bring special considerations. Vendors supplying managed services, software platforms, or infrastructure share responsibility for patching and vulnerability response. Contracts and service-level agreements should clearly define who applies updates and how notifications are shared. Cloud systems often patch underlying infrastructure automatically, but customers remain responsible for application and configuration layers. Continuous monitoring of vendor advisories ensures awareness of shared risk. Documenting how third-party patches are verified demonstrates due diligence to auditors and builds confidence in the extended supply chain. Regular communication keeps everyone aligned. Security teams should publish patch status reports to leadership, highlighting progress, challenges, and notable risks. This transparency prevents surprises and reinforces that vulnerability management is an ongoing process, not an occasional project. Weekly or monthly cadence works best, depending on organizational size. Communicating both successes and outstanding issues fosters trust across departments. It also helps resource planning by showing where recurring delays or dependencies slow progress. Clear communication ensures patching remains a shared responsibility rather than a siloed task. Evidence supports every claim of compliance and effectiveness. Typical artifacts include scan exports, remediation tickets, and screenshots confirming successful updates. These materials show the life cycle of detection, action, and verification. Maintaining organized evidence shortens audit cycles and demonstrates consistent governance. Evidence collection should be routine, not ad hoc. Automated reporting from vulnerability management platforms simplifies this process, ensuring records remain accurate and time-stamped. Treating evidence as a living record encourages teams to stay current and confident in their security posture.